Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Naomi, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to actually have a life as a night shift nurse. Are you a night shift nurse who just feels like after working it's so hard to actually have a social life because you're so drained and so sleepy after work? Trust me, I've been there, and in today's video I want to share with you how to actually have a life as a night shift nurse and not sleep your entire life away. Because I know, like, sometimes it just feels like all you're doing is sleeping and sleeping and sleeping after work, because literally staying up all night long is not for the weak. Especially, it's not like you're just like staying up and just relaxing. You're literally staying up to care for really sick people. And so in today's video I wanted to share with you guys how to actually have a life as a night shift nurse. So let's begin with actually sleeping, and I'm just going to share what I do, and hopefully that, you know, helps you guys. Because believe it or not, on the days I am working, I literally get 8 hours of sleep during the day. How to get 8 hours of sleep during the day as a night shift nurse, that's pretty much what this video is about. And so I do have to give this disclaimer: I have some privileges in the sense that I live alone, I don't have children, and so I feel like this does allow me to be able to do this. But if you are in the same, if you're a young nurse like me, no children, you know, and you're able to, this is how I do it. And so I'm just going to share it with you guys, because I know, like, sometimes sleep can be so hard even though you feel so sleepy. Because I've been there, where when you're at work you're so sleepy, but then when you get home, literally, like, you're not sleepy, and then later you're just so sleepy, but like you can't really get like that deep sleep and all that stuff. So anyways, you get the point. I'm going to share it with you guys. So what I do when I'm like working is, for instance, let's say this is my first shift of the day. It's really helpful. So my first shift of the week, rather, my first night shift of the week, what I like to do is work out in the morning. And I really feel like by work, let's start with this. What I like to do is to get 8 hours of sleep like a regular person the night before. I know some night shift nurses don't switch, whether or not they're working, they're up all night and they sleep during the day. I try to do that. I thought I was going to want to do that, but that's not going to work for me. That's kind of depressing, being up all night long when everyone else is sleeping. And in terms of like general like life, like having like an actual life, that just did not work for me. And so what I found works for me is by going to sleep like a regular person. So let's say from like maybe midnight to like 8 a.m. And then when I wake up in the morning, I go to the gym, go about my business. Like by going to the gym, although I feel like working out before your shift is really helpful because it helps to tire you out. And so what I also do is I like to like take a 3-hour nap during the day, in the afternoon, on the night I'm working. So before getting to work, I like to take like a 3-hour nap, sometimes 3.5 hours. I feel like by getting enough sleep, that sets you up for success, in the sense that when you're at work, you're actually able to stay up and not feel sleepy. Because honestly, nothing feels worse than being sleepy at work. It's terrible for me. I don't like being sleepy at work because, first of all, you're like vulnerable, you're not able to use your brain as much because you're so sleepy. And so I feel like when you're at work, you want to have your absolute concentration, especially if you work in a critical care setting, because anything can go wrong at any time. You don't want to make any mistakes. So, you know, you just want to make sure you're awake, alert, oriented ×3, period. So yeah, next, what you want to do, what I like to do is you take that 3-hour nap, drink, if you drink coffee, if you drink caffeine, something, whatever is going to just give you that burst of energy. I actually find that drinking coffee, I mean, I've gone night shifts without drinking coffee, but I find that drinking coffee just helps me not to be sleepy, because like I just said, I really don't like being sleepy at work. Next, now we're done with the 8-hour shift, right? I'm sorry, 12-hour night shift. So once you're done with that, you want to come home, take a shower, eat, brush your teeth, take a shower, in no particular order, however you like to do it. And then if you're not sleepy, I recommend taking melatonin. And sometimes even if you are sleepy, I do recommend taking melatonin in order to stay asleep. It just depends on your level of fatigue, because sometimes I'm like so sleepy, so I'm like, oh, I don't need melatonin, I just go to bed, and then I'm up at like 2 p.m. No, I hate that so much. So I feel like actually like taking melatonin sometimes, even when you are tired, can help you stay asleep. But to be honest with you, I've probably only taken melatonin since becoming a night shift nurse, and I've probably been working night shifts consecutively for like a year now, and I find that it's actually been more than a year. Stop, that's crazy. But anyways, yeah, I've been working like consecutive night shifts, wow, for a little bit over a year now. This is crazy to me. Wow, dang, I've been living on the opposite like circadian rhythm and I'm thriving, guys. So I actually cannot imagine being a day shift nurse. I just cannot. But anyways, so what you want to do is, where did I stop? I just like caught myself off guard. Second tip for you will be to make sure you're stacking your night shifts if you can. I often don't like working 3 nights in a row either, but sometimes, you know, I just feel like it helps sometimes to just make sure you're having a more balanced like life, because that way you can just go your nights away and you can just switch back to a regular schedule. But if you cannot do 3 in a row, I encourage you to do 2 and then 2. Just stack your shifts like 2s in 2s, and which is what I mostly do personally. I just feel like that really does help, because also I feel like working too many shifts in a row at night also can just be so draining, because it feels like all you're doing is going to work and sleeping, going to work and sleeping, and that in itself can be actually quite depressing. And so yeah, that's my tip for you. Stack your shifts if you can, either in 2s or in 3s. The next tip I'll give you is to make sure you get like darkening curtains. If you can just like have your apartment be as dark or your house be as dark as possible, either with like darkening curtains. Target sells some really like nice darkening curtains for like $50 to $60, and they're not always black. They can like so match the decor of your home, but they do a really great job of darkening out your space, which I love. But I do encourage you to take get like a hydro flask, because as nurses sometimes we don't get to drink our coffee, and if you work like a 12-hour night shift, like from 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., very often, at least for me, I don't really get to like drink my coffee till like 10 p.m. 11 p.m. and when I was getting all this like regular mugs from like any other store, I just found that by then my coffee is like lukewarm and just gross. But ever since I got a hydro flask mug, I just feel like that literally keeps my coffee warm till like 2 a.m. and I'm not exaggerating. So even if you don't get to your coffee later in the morning, having like a hydro flask really does help. And speaking of coffee, I personally, and I would encourage you not to do this, don't drink coffee after like 3 a.m. because then, you know, you don't want to be awake. You want to begin to like get your body to like realize like, okay, the end of your shift is beginning to come around, and so you just want to like get your body to begin to like switch a little bit. So I just encourage you, don't drink coffee like after like 3 a.m. because you want to be able to actually fall asleep when you get home. My next tip will be to get like an eye mask, also in line with the darkening curtain. If you feel like an eye mask would help to like literally darken, and these are for people who care about, like myself, who care about sleeping in a dark environment. And this one's really important, and this is one I've been really trying to incorporate, which is to sleep in a separate room from my phone. And so I like to leave my phone in the living room, not even the bathroom, because sometimes I feel like sometimes when I charge my phone in the bathroom, you know, you wake up in the middle of the day or night to sleep, to pee. When you wake up, you can just like be on the bathroom, and then you want to like be touching your phone, and then when you go on TikTok, literally now you're awake. And so I find that like putting your phone in a place that's not easily accessible, that's like farther away from you, I feel like that really helps. Like the living room, I feel like that really helps you to actually like not go on your phone when you wake up to pee, for instance, right? Yeah, so that way, you know, you're just waking up to pee, you know, pee, and then you're going back to bed, and obviously washing your hands and going back to bed, as opposed to you know, taking your phone and then just keep your phone in an inaccessible place from you. That way you're not tempted to go on your phone. My next tip for you will be to use an actual alarm. So for me, I have like a Google Home, and I feel like using that as like my alarm system is really helpful as opposed to using the phone, because once again, I feel like when you get to be on your phone, that just really like messes with your sleep schedule. My next tip for you, which if you're the kind of person like me, I find that like using white noise to sleep is really helpful, like rain sounds, white noise, and just using that to like sleep is just really helpful. It helps me get like a deeper sleep, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, it's a fact. It helps me sleep better. So incorporating things like white noise really will help you sleep better. Ooh, and if you can, I know some nurses like to just work to just stay, like night shift nurses, I know some of them, like whether or not they're working, they just want to be awake all night long. For me, that doesn't really help with like my social life and with actually having a life outside of work. And so if you can, just try to switch your schedule back to a day shift, a regular, you know, human beings day shift schedule. I feel like that really helps. And so one of the best ways to do it is to go back to my first tip, I believe it was, where it was my second tip, which was stack your shifts if you can. I really hope this the goal of this video is really to just help my fellow night shift nurses just like be able to get enough sleep while they're working, and in general in life, to help you get enough sleep and to yeah, pretty much help you get enough sleep and to maximize your social life, to maximize your time off. Because I've been there and I feel like nothing sucks more than literally just feeling like all you're doing is just being constantly sleepy. Like that sucks. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope this video is really helpful for you so that you can have a nice work-life balance. Thank you for watching.